Okay. Okay.
It was able to raise $663. And when she
Come on.
$10. I did. So basically, I somewhat, language though. I think I
Come on.
is players are changing. So the main investors in the financial houses of the United States side of them in the face to understand. So where our country is becoming, it will never change. So we've got to reach back and find our own humanity. And everyone who walks this planet and I presume that violence against Libyan people. Al Jazeera as by Haaretz. I went back to look at it because I couldn't believe it. So part of the reason I couldn't believe what the press was saying was because I had just left Tripoli. I was there. There was nothing happening. There was a whole bunch of African people from all over the world. The Caribbean was there, Haiti was represented. I mean, all of the people of African descent had been invited to come in this magnificent conference, and we were talking about rebuilding Africa. So I had extra reason to not believe what was being said because I had been there. The Arab Revolution, the Arab Spring. I have long understood that there was a problem with Arab leadership and that the leaders that are handpicked by, the same colonial powers that are doing what they're doing now, the NATO people, also denied the right of self-determination. It's not just to the Palestinians. The Palestinians is sort of like the sort of, I don't know, where the mortar meets the pistol, the cutting edge. But that the right of self-determination didn't exist in a whole bunch of other Arab countries. And for that matter, I will extend it to Muslim countries too, because, honestly, we have to accept that there's a war against Islam. And this war, I believe that, and I want to accept the legitimate denial of human rights and then the legitimate claim for human rights for people in that part of the world. However, there's another motivating factor for U.S. policy, and I think we have to come to grips with it. It is no accident that the Project for a New American Century wrote a document for Netanyahu called, I think it was 1991 or thereabouts, called A Clean Break. That's right. And what I believe that what we are witnessing now is a clean break in action. What is the underlying thesis of that document? Well, basically, what the writers who are U.S. citizens, the ones who are able to go in and out seamlessly between the think tank and the government, and what they wrote was that Israel is on the verge of becoming independent. Not any longer subject to the whims of the people of the United States for its ability to make a policy for itself. And they call this a more mature Israel. And in order for a more mature Israel to enter onto the world stage, certain things had to be put in place to make it right. And basically, those things that needed to be put in place is what we're seeing now. Muslim killing Muslim, Arab killing Arab, Africans killing Africans. That's what had to be put in place. You had to get rid of Saddam Hussein in Iraq. You had to get rid of Assad in Syria. You got to get rid of anyone who would be able to join in coalition and challenge Israeli hegemony over the region. And it's not just hegemony, because there's another aspect, since we're in a school, let's go there, of not just hegemony,